Hello everyone! Today I'm presenting a pretty different video on the channel. I decided to make a video about my first custom keyboard build. This was a very new and exciting experience for me, and I thought it would be nice to share it with you guys. Just a few notes before getting into the main part of the video. Number 1, links to all parts of the keyboard will be in the description and extra information. Number 2, I don't really have professional equipment, so I'm sorry if the video quality is bad and the filming is pretty terrible. Lastly, I wasn't able to film a lot of the process because I didn't plan ahead of what I should be filming and what I shouldn't. Alright, now that that is out of the way, let's get into the video. Hope you guys enjoy. I decided to make a custom board because I fell down the rabbit hole of custom boards and basically got addicted. My YouTube history is full of keyboard videos. It's pretty crazy. I made sure to do a lot of research to build the keyboard that would suit me best. First thing I'm gonna mention is the PCB. I was looking for a hot swappable PCB because this would eliminate the need to solder switches onto the PCB. Plus, this gives me the opportunity to swap switches whenever I want without the need to desolder and solder again. After searching through different hot swap PCBs, the one that I ended up going with was the GK64. It is a 60% layout, that means it is quite small, sacrificing the function keys, numpad, and other keys, but the main necessities are still present. Most 60% boards don't have dedicated arrow keys, but this is what makes the GK64 different. The GK64 has dedicated arrow keys, which is really useful because I don't think I could live without dedicated arrow keys. I use them quite a lot. The GK64 also has a dedicated delete key, which is also a very important key to me that I don't want to lose out on. The GK64 is perfect for me because it has all of my needs in a small form factor. The case of the keyboard is made of rosewood. I just really like the aesthetic of wooden cased boards. Wood cases are kind of in between plastic cases and aluminum cases, I'd say. They are stronger than plastic cases, nice to type on, but I'm not sure if they are better than aluminum. It probably comes down to preference. I would also like to mention that I bought a kit that included the wood case, GK64 PCB, a fiber plate, and some plate-mounted stabilizers, along with extras like the USB Type-C connector and a switch puller. Let's talk about switches. Oh boy, it was hard for me to choose switches. At first I was thinking of getting some sort of clicky switch, but after watching a lot more keyboard videos, I realized that I really liked the buttery smoothness and sound of linear switches. That is when I heard about Gateron Yellows. A lot of people would recommend Gateron Yellows because they are really good for their price, and after lubing can sound really good and feel nice and smooth. Speaking of lubing, the process of lubing all of the switches was very long and painful, but it paid off, I'd say. The lube that I used for the switches was Krytox 205 grade 0. The stabilizers, as I mentioned before, were from the kit I bought that included the wood case, PCB, and the fiber plate as well, so they weren't really that good of quality. I made sure to clip and lube them, but it's pretty hard to remove the rattle from non-genuine stabilizers. You guys will hear what I'm talking about in the sound test. I didn't have dielectric grease, so I used Krytox 205 grade 0 for the entire stabilizer. Not sure if that's better or worse than using dielectric grease. I have no idea. I am not super educated when it comes to lube and stuff, so yeah, if you know more than me, you can just leave a comment about it. I had some difficulties putting the keyboard together. The first thing that I noticed is that the PCB didn't fit perfectly with the wood case. Well, at least for my experience. I tried reading reviews for the same product and no one seemed to mention any problems. The USB port of the PCB couldn't fit through the hole of the wooden case. I had to ask for some help to chip the wood a bit so the USB port can fit. Luckily, the modification that was done isn't really noticeable as it is at the back of the keyboard. Screwing in the PCB was also hard because there was some wiggle room in the case and it didn't fit snugly. I could only secure 5 out of 6 screws and just dealt with it because I was spending way too much time trying to get it as right as possible. If I'm feeling like it, I will probably try fitting it better in the future. The wiggle room caused the PCB to be screwed in at a bit of an angle, which made things a lot weirder later on. It's not really noticeable when actually using the keyboard though. The next step was to put the switches in along with the plate. This took a while and I made sure no pins were bent when inserting them into the PCB, avoiding risks of ruining it. For some reason, some switches wouldn't firmly insert into the PCB, but maybe this was the result of the PCB being wonky in the case, which caused some alignment issues. Anyways, after doing the best I could putting in the switches, the best part was about to start. Keycaps pull the whole keyboard together. They finish the look and are just a big part of the aesthetic of the keyboard. It was a challenge to find a keycap set that could support this non-standard 60% layout, because the left shift key was 2 units instead of the usual 2.25 units like most keyboards, and the right shift key was 1 unit. I found a nice pink, purple, and white keycap set that can support the layout of the GK64. The keycaps were XDA profile, meaning they didn't vary in height on each row on the keyboard, keeping everything flat. This was actually really good for me because my previous keyboard, the Razer Onata Chroma, had low profile keycaps that were flat across the board as well. After placing all the keycaps, the keyboard was done. As you can see, some switches are loose and move around, but they don't randomly pop out of place. So it's not much of an inconvenience, it just annoys the crap out of me. This took basically my entire day to build and I don't regret anything. There was trouble along the way, but that's alright. My first custom built keyboard was finally done and it looked stunning. The colors of the keycaps matched nicely with the case and everything just looks so clean. The board also feels really great to type on thanks to the Lube Gateron yellows. Here's a sound test for you guys. I am quite satisfied with how the sound turned out, especially because this was my first time lubing switches and stabilizers. Well, anyways, that was my first keyboard build. Will I build more keyboards in the future? That's up in the air. My wallet still needs time to recover. If ever I do build more keyboards in the future though, I want to take the things I learned through this experience and do even better for the next. That's it for today's video. Hope you guys like my new keyboard and I'll see you in the next one whenever that comes out. Bye! So you've made it to the end of the video. Congratulations to you. If you want to see more content, I uploaded a video on my second channel. It was just some chaotic sibling stuff while I was trying to like clip my stabilizers and stuff. Pretty weird, but yeah, you can go check that out. But yeah, I really enjoyed this and I hope you guys enjoyed the video too. I have no idea who's gonna be listening to this at the end of the video, but hey, whoever is, hello. But yeah, seriously, that's all I have to say. Again, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want more keyboard or techie related videos, feel free to say in the comments. Oh, and if you're interested in hearing a Minecraft ASMR video with this keyboard, feel free to let me know as well. Alright, see you guys.